Hey, welcome back, guys. All right, Ophiuchus, actually, I'm going to change decks before I even get started. That just felt like the wrong deck. All right, by the way, sorry, guys, I'm covered in paint right now. I'm sorry, I was busy painting earlier today, so you must forgive me for that. But we're going to get into this here. Let me make sure I've got things set right. There we go. All right, Ophiuchus. It is late Sunday night. I wanted to make sure you still get one before the week ends, though. And we have the Fool card. Big leap of faith forward. Big jump forward, actually. Strong Aries energy. This could be Ophiuchus is ready to do something unusual. They're ready to do something brave. They're ready to do something that their heart really wants with that Ace of Wands. All right, fantastic way to start, right? Ophiuchus is in that space or that heart space or head space that says, I want to go ahead and go in the direction that I care to go in. Well, this actually looks like we have a little Ophiuchus rebellion where they're saying, I want to take a leap of faith and go someplace else because I don't like dealing with a tyrant. So this actually looks like Ophiuchus could be leaving somebody behind, leaving a career path, leaving something that they view as too oppressive, too controlling. And Ophiuchus is like, you kidding me? I'm gonna exercise my personal freedom here. I'm gone. I care to go someplace else. I'm passionate. And even I mean, Ophiuchus could be saying, I am so not gonna be dealing with this. I could read this one other way, and we could say maybe Ophiuchus is, feeling footloose, free, single, and they're excited to meet somebody, and they meet the first person that they meet could actually turn out to be a karmic. Sometimes in life that happens too. We're all geared up. We're like, this is going to be awesome. This could be the best ever. I'm single. I'm going to go meet somebody. And then we meet exactly the wrong person for us. And it's like an exercise in discernment. Oh, shoot. I really do need to make sure that I don't pick the wrong person. Anisha, thank you again, honey, for being here. So good to see you, babe. We get the Two of Wands. I think it is possibly, either way we slice it, it's an exercise in discernment because Ophiuchus has the right to choose not to be under someone else's thumb. And this Two of Wands says, I'm going to go ahead and go a different direction. I'm definitely going to go a different direction. Hey, Contented Tiger. Wonderful to see you, love. We got Hierophant upright. I feel like, sometimes the best thing that ever happens for us is when we feel empowered and we feel like we're making our own decisions, and then we immediately find something that we don't like and we go, whoa, no, thank you. I'm totally going to listen to my higher self, and I am going to definitely remember this is my time to make good decisions for me. I want to go toward what I do like, and I'm going to go away from like noxious stimuli. And I feel like that's exactly what we've got this character. I'm picturing somebody's like driving a little bitty car and their car is just making a U-turn and leaving immediately. It's like, nope, I don't want to be at this place after all. I don't care to go here. I'm going to turn around and drive away. I literally have kind of a cute little image of like some itty bitty little car like motoring around and doing a U-turn and just leaving again. Nope, not putting up my tent here. Nope, not going to date this cat. I was excited to go out on this date. I was excited to meet somebody new. I thought they were really attractive. And then as I started to hear them talk, I was like, wow, they're super conceited. I don't like this at all. I'm actually going to leave. I've got the right to make a new choice, and I'm going to listen to my higher self. If my higher self says run, I'm going to run. That's the way I would look at this. Ophiuchus might be in a time frame of like radical self-trust, where it's like, if my instincts tell me to go, I'm going to listen to that. And then I'm not going to look back or worry about it. 10 of Wands. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I'm just going to do what feels right for me. That alone could be a really big and like positive energy shift for Ophiuchus. If anything, Ophiuchus is like, I know what I'm looking for. I want a soulmate. I want the right kind of soulmate. I want the right kind of person. I want to match to the individual that I genuinely want to be with. And if I see traits that I don't like, I'm gone. And I'm not going to worry that, oh gosh, was I too harsh? Was I too judgy? If somebody shows me things that I don't like, I'm not going to stay. Whether it's a job, whether it's a boss, whether it's a lover, I'm not going to stay. I'm going to listen to my instincts. And I trust also that my instincts will lead me to a soulmate or the place that I would be happiest, the connections, the relationships, the place that I belong. I trust that I will end up there. Eight of Pentacles upright. Okay, so I would just say this is very strongly, leaning toward a Fucus on the right path, like for sure, for sure. They know what they want, and this was definitely an exercise in discernment. And now it's like, wow, I'm getting pretty good at this instinct stuff. I'm getting pretty damn good at this. I know now I can trust my instincts. There will be a soulmate up ahead, and I'm just about ready to meet him. Maybe I'll have another test or two to get through. Because the Eight of Pentacles is not quite the 10. We're not quite ready for the union to find the right soulmate or to be in a happily ever after connection or to connect to somebody and feel like, wow, I'm whole, you're whole, and now we can be together. It feels like a Fucus is saying, this was good practice for me. If there's one or two other little things to brush up on, to keep testing my intuition, that's all right, universe. Throw it at me. What else do you think I need to practice? And that's the way I would look at this, is that a Fucus is they're just getting some practice right now and trusting their intuition. A Fucus might start spending more time or feel drawn to animals. If there's deer that are out in their yard, they may feed the deer. They may realize that the deer really like them above other people, or any kind of wildlife could gravitate toward a Fucus right now. A Fucus might find all kinds of animals. Animals are nonverbal, but they definitely are communicators, and I feel like this could be another energy where a Fucus starts like practicing using their intuition by communing with the animals, with the wild things. Even like paying more attention to their plants, paying more attention to, the way any living creature has its own needs, right? And it conveys its needs. Your houseplants lean toward the light if they need more light. They tell us by their little posture if they're suffering, if they, are thirsty, if they're not growing right because they don't have the right, nutrients in the soil. Like, they're very communicative. And I just feel like a Fucus is really attuned right now. This is the Page of Pentacles, which is like, I want to try connecting. Pages are messengers. Page of Pentacles is oftentimes like a gift, an offer, or the offer of like, let's communicate. And I just kind of feel like this is a really great example of a Fucus working on sensing, what something wants from them. And they may start not with people, but with animals. And the Hierophant again, this is the white buffalo woman. So in the Lakota Nation, to my limited knowledge, the white buffalo woman is very heavily associated with the dream state. And so I'm wondering if a Fucus is also going to be paying really close attention to dreams. Maybe they have very vivid dreams. Maybe they get a lot of great messages in their dreams. If they're particularly having some nice dreams, there could be beautiful messages in there, like from the ancestors or something. But it just feels like a Fucus is going to be really tapped in right now. Tammy Johnson, hey babe. No, I just love how like kind of tapped in a Fucus is to whatever they consider their higher self to be. Their higher self is connected to their intuition for sure in this storyline. And they're aware of it and they want to develop it. This is an Ophiuchus who's like, look, my major objective in life is not just to go, I must find a relationship. My objective in life is to learn how to live my best life and notice the warning signs and listen carefully to, because there's context clues all around us, right? All around us. And when we learn how to like, I'm picturing somebody who's like, an individual that's like really good at being in the outdoors. How, let's say somebody who has survival skills, they've been trained how to survive in the desert. They've been trained how to like notice what plants probably have water in them or, would be growing near a greater water source, pay attention to where certain animals are congregated, pay attention to, how different animals in the desert survive and mimic some of that. But paying attention is the first rule of thumb sometimes in like gaining wisdom is absorb your surroundings, pay attention to what's around you, and then, assimilate that and digest it and pick up those context clues. And I just feel like that's what Ophiuchus is doing, but it's so they can develop not just like survival skills, but so they can develop their intuition and really be on the correct life path for themselves. And I just love the fact that it's a spiritual story, but it also has elements of romance in it. But I like the fact that it's more than that. It's more about Ophiuchus really enjoying. I mean, they could even be taking a course or going to take a course or class um, in, let's say, I don't want to call it like spiritual development or spiritual growth, because I don't really think it's that. It's about like internal, um, I'll just say developing intuition. Nine of Pentacles. That Nine of Pentacles is very, very, very much personal empowerment as well. And feeling confident kind of comes from trusting ourselves. I'm not saying Ophiuchus didn't know themselves or didn't trust themselves before, but there is something to be said for, let's put it this way. When I was younger, let's say even into my probably mid to late 20s, I feel like I was behind the curve for like just confidence, and probably because I was very shy and took a lot of work to get myself to not be so shy. And that, you have to develop that. And some people are just like way more outgoing at a certain age. Instead, I don't know, it was just different for me. And that seems to be like maybe a good analogy here for like when we realize that we want to work on something, develop something in ourselves, because we know that that's like a hindrance or something, we feel behind the eight ball. When we get whatever that confidence is or something, then we can feel much more stable. We feel like we can handle whatever comes at us a little bit easier. We feel like we've been through enough different life experiences that we've practiced how to handle different scenarios with grace. All of it starts to like make us feel a little bit more grounded and a little bit more confident in ourselves and our ability to handle things. And I would just say that's kind of what it looks like here. Ophiuchus it's weird because they started out with that Fool card, and the Fool is also the baby of the deck. I'm on its big brand new journey. I'm going to operate like I don't know anything, and I'm going to learn everything that there is to learn about my surroundings. I'm super excited about this. That's why I feel like this is Ophiuchus just got back into the dating pool, but they notice red flags right away if they don't like somebody. This could be Ophiuchus has been married and divorced, and they're single, and they're like, I'm never going to repeat what I did before. But you know what? I never really dated because I was, married young, and now I'm divorced, and the first person I meet could remind me very much of why I got divorced from somebody. But hey, I learned that lesson. Now I'm learning how to date, and I'm learning how to trust my instincts, and I'm learning how to find my confidence, and I'm learning how to say no when I mean no, and I'm listening to my inner voice. All of this feels like, thank goodness we have an Ophiuchus that's such an adventurer. They're not afraid of this. They're open to like the experiences, and they're actively saying, I'm a student right now. I'm going to figure this out. I don't know that my objective is to instantly find the perfect romantic partner, as much as I know I'll benefit from dating, meeting different people, getting the practice of saying yes and no, depending on how I feel about different situations. Got the Tower here. This fearlessness is huge, I think, for our Ophiuchus. I feel like they are like such an outgoing person. This could really be Ophiuchus just now feels like they're blossoming, just now feels like they're really like much more sexy and confident and at ease when it comes to like dating. Maybe this is something that they never thought that they would be so comfortable with. I'm thinking that even they are a little bit surprised by the fact that they're taking this on like it's fun, but it's also a chance to just build and grow. And they're getting more comfortable all the time with this whole, dating realm, or, having this next opportunity to meet a really great soulmate. Four of Swords in the reverse. I think Ophiuchus just realized I must be pretty damn healed, because this isn't scary at all. In fact, this is kind of a rush. This is kind of a ride. I'm enjoying this. I love it. I feel like this is an Ophiuchus who needed to not feel drained or, like exhausted by the concept of dating. Because I mean, ideally, knowing that there's beautiful people on this planet and we undoubtedly will meet somebody that's a terrific match for us. But instead of being daunted by like, yeah, but oh my God, I'm going to have to date, I'm going to have to meet people. This Ophiuchus is now saying, no, it's a privilege. I get to meet different people. And even if they aren't my soulmate, I get to learn something from them. Sometimes I'll meet ones that remind me of, how to put up boundaries or how to navigate a tough conversation, but it's going to be good. In fact, it's going to be good for me. I'm not approaching this like it's a drag or like it's scary. And I realize now it's because I'm healed. That's why it's not scary. That's why it's not a drag. This is exciting. I loved the fact that we have somebody who's not, like wanting a partnership and not having any idea of how to find it, or feeling like, ugh, boo, I hate love. I'm glad to see that we don't have an Ophiuchus that's like bitter or hurt or sad. I just want to know, what does Ophiuchus find? The lovers. Um, Gosh, I think Ophiuchus is definitely going to be very surprised by what a tremendous love story is in store for them. We have someone at the Eiffel Tower, or maybe that's the Space Needle in Seattle. Um, but we definitely have like a movie quality romance on the horizon. Ophiuchus could be a more mature age. Both of these characters have silver white hair, and they are finding a beautiful love story. I feel like by uh, what am I trying to say? The end of the year holiday, New Year's. By New Year's celebration, I think Ophiuchus will have a partner by then that will possibly be a really, really great love story that they have begun. It could be very romantic. I loved this one for our Ophiuchus. This was a nice one. It's about time we get a really good Ophiuchus one. Although I always feel like the Ophiuchus storylines have a little bit of extra something special to them. I really enjoy doing the Ophiuchus ones. All right, you guys. Fire on fire. I love that. Silver equals wisdom. Love that. All right, you guys. Thanks again for hanging out with me. I know it's super late tonight, but I really appreciate you guys popping in. Lots of love. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. Bye, everybody.